Okay? And the question is, how do we do a better job of getting from hope to change in our sector? Not the warm and fuzzy, isn't it nice, really very not serious nonprofit sector, but the Delta sector, right? And I'm going to give you the mathematical equation that goes from hope to change. Are you ready? Okay. This is like Nobel Prize stuff here, Drummond. Right? There are 4 elements to the equation. First, you need stories. You need stories of hope. That's what most of the nonprofit sector does now. Okay? They are solving problems, but without scale, right? So the question is, how do you go from story of hope to scale? This notion that what the nonprofit sector needs and what our social challenges need, we need more innovation, is bulldinky. We have a lot of innovation. Our problem is not the lack of innovation. It's not the lack of new ideas. The problem is we don't know how to scale it up when we hit one. That's the problem. Okay? That has nothing to do with, it's not like, let's just wait for the next killer app software development. We're talking about poverty and racism and injustice, right? So you've got to have the stories. Then you've got to have numbers. You've got to have data to show, just like Second Chance has, that for cheaper money there is a better way, right? Third, you need to package it. It needs to be messaged. You need to be able to tell that story about the story and numbers, right? And then fourthly, and here's the one that gets very uncomfortable, particularly in the world of stodgy, cool-headed, dispassionate philanthropy, you got to deal with power. Okay? You got to deal with power. Okay? Because I can have the stories, and I can have the data, and I can have the message, but if we're not dealing with the power, it doesn't happen. Okay? And the power in our world, the world of philanthropy, those of you that are among us, it's called funding advocacy. Okay? And so at our foundation, we've doubled in the last 5 years. I know I've got 30 seconds left, I know. In the last 5 years, we've doubled our advocacy funding because the problem, going from hope to change, means going from grassroots to treetops, right? You're going to have to impose the will of what the Second Chances and the community coalitions and the Santa Claras of the world have learned, so that big systems with huge amounts of money act and behave differently. Remember that definition of momentum, going from a body that goes from one place to another, hope to change, expectation and wish, desire, fulfillment, to something looks different. Okay. So it's the Delta sector, new sector, no more silos of education over here and healthcare over there and the poverty people over there and the housing over there. New silos now. Numbers, stories, right? What was the third one? Messaging, power, right? And in the Delta sector, we're each going to have, are you in the numbers department? Or are you in the messaging department, right? Integrated. Okay? And that's how I think we need to reimagine this work that we do, this sector that we have. Okay? Last quote, last comment. And it came up in the previous slide. If you look at each of the major systems that constitute the critical path for opportunity in this country, they are health and healthcare, public education, affordable housing, economic development, right? I'll add in the environment because we've got to take care of the planet too, right? And we can't, just can't keep urinating on this planet for the next 10 years and expect everything to be okay. We don't have a national, coherent, effective strategy on any of them. Not a one. Okay? Unacceptable, unsustainable, not tenable. And we're at a moment right now where the stories of innovation and the stories of hope and the stories of real change have got to be lifted up and owned by us. Okay? I'll close with my favorite philosopher, Moms Mabley. Forget Aristotle. And if you always do what you always did, you're going to always get what you always got. Thank you.